Hey everybody, welcome back to The Way of Ramen. Today we have a request from Suzanne for a recipe for tsukemen. Now if you've never heard of tsukemen before, you can get a pretty good idea of what it is just by the name alone. Tsukemen comes from two Japanese words, tsukeru, which means to dip or to soak, and men, which means noodles, like ramen. So they're basically dipping noodles. I spent a lot of time thinking about what I would do with this request, and in the end I decided to go with a Tonkotsu-Gyokai soup base, along with a tare specifically made for tsukemen from a book that I have. I tried a bunch of new things, and some things worked out well, and other things didn't work out so well, but in the end I was really happy with the final product. So without further ado, let's get right into this. So the first thing we're going to need to do is to prep the Gyokai soup stock a day in advance. In ramen, there are two main styles of soup that are often used, usually in combination. Dobutsu-kei soup, which is derived from animal bones like pork bones and chicken bones, and Gyokai-kei soup, which is soup derived from fish. A lot of ramen shops have their own blends and mix them together with their own ratios to give their bowls a signature flavor. I have some niboshi here, and I'm removing the heads and the guts from them. This can get kind of bitter if you don't do this. I also added some shitake and hidaka konbu and poured in 1.5 liters of water. Cover this with a lid and let it steep on the counter overnight. The next day, I started the tare for the dipping broth. I added 25 grams of caster sugar to a pot and 8 grams of light brown sugar. Added a little bit too much there. To that, I added 100 milliliters of the chashu dare that I made in the Better Chashu Method video, 35 milliliters of mirin, and 100 milliliters of the Gyokai soup stock for some umami. Put this on a stove and turn on the heat. Now the recipe says to whisk the tare as it's heating up to prevent the sugar from burning at the bottom, so that's what I did. The recipe says to bring it up to a boil, and just before it hits that rolling boil, turn off the heat and let it cool down at room temperature. Next up, I have two types of Koikuchi shoyu. Now, these aren't the brands that were specified in the recipe, but this is all I got, so this is what I'm using. You'll notice that a lot of these Japanese tare recipes, they're very particular with the types of ingredients that they use, and a lot of them are hard to get here in America. So I'm just using Kikkoman shoyu, 150 milliliters of this, and a craft shoyu that I've somehow found here locally. $150 milliliters of this as well, and then over that I'm going to pour in the tare base that we made. I'm going to cover this with a lid and let it sit on the counter to rest. Now the recipe says to let it rest for 3 days, but I actually used it the same day and it was okay, but maybe it'll be better if you let it rest. Next, I started to make the tonkotsu soup stock by soaking some pork bones in water. This helps to draw out the blood from the bones and it kind of helps to ensure that the soup doesn't get too muddy. I let this sit for around 2 hours, and after that, I rinse the bones and the water out and replace the water. I put the pot on high heat for a pre-boil. This is to get the scum out of the bones, and as the scum started to collect at the surface, I dropped in some chicken feet. When there's a pretty good amount of scum at the surface, I started to skim it off. You can kind of use the scum as a gauge of how much longer you need to boil, and when the scum stopped coming out, I cooled down the bones with cold water and rinsed them off, and this is what they look like. I also cut off the toenails from the chicken feet because you don't want that ending up in anybody's soup. I put all the bones in the chicken feet into an Instant Pot and filled it with 3 liters of water. Put 2 pieces of pork belly and pressure cook this on high pressure for about 45 minutes. And this is what it looked like after that. My idea was to get some fat into the soup from the pork belly and also get some chashu out of this as well. It didn't quite work as expected, and the pork belly came out way overcooked and way too soft. I still tried to make chashu out of it, but the next time I would probably just drop the pork belly in during the next step instead of in the pressure cooking. Speaking of the next step, we're going to start to emulsify the soup by boiling at a rolling boil. This is what gives tonkotsu its signature milky white color. After 30 minutes, I added the gyokai soup stock along with everything in it and brought that back to a boil, and then let it go for another hour. You see the scum at the top of the soup? You don't want to remove that. That's all the umami from the gyokai soup. After about 15 minutes, I took out the konbu and let everything else boil for the remaining hour. After that hour was up, I added some garlic, some green onion, a tiny slice of ginger, and half an onion, and let this boil for another 30 minutes. And by the end of that, the soup was pretty milky white. I strained the soup into a separate pot, and my Tonkotsu-Gyokai soup was done. It was a little thinner than expected, and it could be boiled down a little longer to reduce it a little bit more, but this is what I ended up using. Alright, nearing the end of cooking, the last thing we have to prep is an aroma oil. I'm just doing a simple garlic oil. I sliced up some garlic, got some oil into a small pan, and then fried the garlic over low heat for about 10 minutes. Just as they started to change color, I strained them out, and that was my aroma oil for this one. All that's left now is to prep the toppings. I cut up some green onions, sliced some lemon, and cut up some chashu and got that into a toaster oven. As expected, it was way too soft and gross. The last thing is to make some gyofun fish powder. I got some katsuobushi flakes and just ground it up in a suribachi pestle. And we're done. It's time to put this all together. Alright, let's go. 2 tablespoons of tare into the bowl, 1 tablespoon of the garlic oil, some green onions, and 200 milliliters of the Tonkotsu-Gyokai soup. Top it with a little bit of red pepper powder. Cook and strain some noodles and place them on a plate or in a bowl. Top that with some chashu, a slice of lemon, some memma bamboo shoots, and an egg that didn't quite have enough time to cure and is a little bit too runny. Slide a couple nori sheets into your dipping broth and your tsukemen is done. Forgot to add the gyofun fish powder, but you can just sprinkle that into the soup. Squeeze the lemon over your noodles to add just a hint of acidity. This turned out to be one of the most complex flavored ramen things that I've made so far, and I was really happy with how it turned out. That being said, I know there are a lot of things I can work on to make this even better, and that's what I love about making ramen. You always know there's another level to aspire to. Anyways, if you've had tsukemen before, please tell me about your experience. I'm curious to hear if you liked it better than regular ramen. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I answer everything, or try to, so don't hold back. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and if you have Instagram, you can give me a follow there too, @WayofRamen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in the next video.